the morning show with EVH. I'm Eric Von Hessler. That's Autumn Fisher.
Howdy.
That's Greg Russ over there. Michael Albanese.
I'm delayed with the cameras. There's Autumn.
Right. And then there's you.
Okay, back to
And Michael Albanese is, of course, with us, but we're going to get to him in a moment. He's doing an on-the-spot report for us. I should explain, this is a show that we are recording in case it is necessary on Wednesday to have this show ready to go, because we're being told that it's going to be ice storm 2. Not really snow at this point.
potential to be a historic, or is it an historic?
It's so bad it's going to be both.
Both.
Yeah.
A historic and historic.
And historic.
Yeah.
And historic.
I know. I think it's ahistoric, even though usually it would be an N before the H. But I think in that situation,
It depends on the word.
We have a grammatician in the house.
A grammaticianologist.
Autumn Fisher.
Yeah, it depends on whether the H is like a sound or if it's like a sound.
Hour.
Yeah, like
An
an
hour.
hour.
An hour.
Exactly.
Okay, so "huh" equals A.
Yeah.
All right,
Well, a
very
lot
good.
of people do put the "an." but
Well, are they
I don't
wrong?
think- well,
If they're wrong, they're wrong. Get this out of your generation.
I don't know. I'm
you
not
know,
trying to say.
it
no,
doesn't
no.
matter.
I'm not trying to say it doesn't matter. I'm just saying maybe that person says historical.
It's possible. So we're doing this just in case it's a safety show, in case people can't get in tomorrow. And if people can get in tomorrow, we're going to do a show tomorrow. But this is just in case. Although I've got a feeling that if things are 50-50, everybody on the set's going to know, well, they got one to run. I don't know how hard you people are going to try to get in tomorrow. Eric, it hurts. It hurts. I can't come in.
My baby.
But so you have to. Oh, thank you for the lights.
Boo. We don't need them.
Yes.
Sorry.
And is that fan all right? I can't hear it. We can keep it on as long as I can't hear
Yeah,
it.
let's leave the fan on. Autumn's hot.
Autumn's pregnant and she's hot. But you know
Yeah,
who
I'm
isn't hot? Michael Albanese. Because he's outside where the snow, sleet, slush thing has begun, and he has a report. Michael, are you there?
I am here, Eric.
So what are you seeing out there a day before the storm actually hits?
It is bad. You can definitely see some sort of accumulation in the air.
Yeah.
The ground is, there's definitely some sort of liquid, and it's white and it's also clear, so I'm really unsure exactly what it is. I'll tell you this, though, if you do decide to drive, much like Autumn's pregnancy, that is going to be a big mistake.
I think that Michael wishes he would have met you maybe a couple months before you got pregnant, because I think he thinks he has a shot. But, you know, when you got the kid inside of there, it's just...
Well, now it's safe. We should get it on because now I can't get two babies up in
I
here.
know, but I mean...
Just like you getting to work tomorrow and my shot with Autumn, there is none. You're not going to make it. It is bad out here, people.
You do need to watch out for this guy. Remember yesterday or today?
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretending it's tomorrow, but we're
Pretend
doing
it's
the show
tomorrow
today.
and talk about yesterday.
Yeah, so the show, the girl I'm dating,
Yes.
friended him. I'm not on Facebook,
Right.
but enjoyed Michael's performance. Friended him, and he's speaking. Oh, this cute girl just friended me. I'm going to write her messages, and I wander over, not knowing, and glances like, wait,
That's my new girlfriend.
had to let him down.
Well, I don't know.
Just like the temperature out here, you are being very cold to me right now.
I hope that door's locked. He's not getting back in.
No, it'll be funny. We'll just leave him out there. So is there anything else that you see in the sky, around you, anything of any note?
I would definitely say that the rain is happening. The trees are still green, though, which is boggling my mind. I can't understand that they're these long, piney little green things. I think they're leaves. Not 100% sure, but I definitely think that you should stay out of the weather and stay indoors unless you want to have a good time out in this snowy weather, which should be everybody.
So you're saying don't do it, but go outside.
Absolutely, go outside and enjoy the apocalypse and get drunk, because what else is there to do when there is no tomorrow besides get drunk and have sex with somebody that you're not really familiar with?
See, I think he's hitting on you again with that one.
Yeah, I guess we're
That
spending the night
one
here.
was for Greg.
Yeah.
I was going
Girlfriend.
to say, I was hoping that one. So it's my turn.
Hey, you guys, maybe a threesome with it? No, okay, that'd be terrible.
It's a different world, Eric.
Yeah.
Different than the one you grew up in.
I know, you guys, the idea of what a couple's always going to be two, but I mean, that sort of relationship is different now. It's fluid. I know you young kids, you're open-minded.
I went shopping with Autumn
Yeah.
and her husband at
Yes.
IKEA, and people were giving us looks. But it's one of those new age families.
Right.
Yep.
Two dads, and they've got the kid on the way. Whose
Right.
is it? Doesn't matter.
Either
Doesn't
that or
matter.
you
We're
and
a
her
family.
I would have thought that you and her husband Travis are gay lovers, and she's your surrogate, so that's why you're all out.
That's fine too.
You know.
Yeah, whatever.
Everything works.
I
Everything
do-
works in 2014.
I had a sperm donor, and these two are just my lovers.
That's why wouldn't one of them be the sperm donor?
Because, why not?
I mean,
Let's
they can-
diversify our funds, y'all.
That's right. Let's mix it all up.
That's right.
How's my pool looking?
It looks very clean. If your idea of clean is living inside of a dumpster.
The pipes burst. We haven't been able to run it.
My favorite description of it was, it hasn't been clean since the last time we've been in it, which is a very great frame of reference for anybody who knows your swimming habits.
I don't hardly swim. I got that pool, but my wife does, and the kids do, and so I just gotta have it cleaned up. But the
Clearly they haven't in a while,
The
because
pipe-
this pool looks like you dumped your lawn clippings in it all last
Yes.
summer.
it's a swamp, basically.
A lot of
It's
algae.
out here.
It's an experiment.
Yes.
I was going to say though, and
Entropy. I'm doing an experiment in entropy.
Michael told us
It looked
about.
like there was ice. It looked like there was ice forming on the top of the pool,
Yeah.
but I touched it and it's just grime.
It's,
It's a film.
it's gelatinous.
Yes.
Some sort of oily, slick surface is formed on the top.
It's like that river in Cleveland you could light on fire.
Well, it's perfect for the
Exactly.
Frogman. Michael told us that story, how he
Oh,
wanted to be
yeah.
a professional wrestler.
That's
and He was
right.
going to be the Frogman, so he's got a pool
Can
out
I
there.
come in and talk about it? I'm very
Yeah,
close.
just
Well,
walk in
I
now.
feel like your report would be better from out there. No, come on in and tell us all about Frogman. Lock the door behind you, though. We don't want people coming in, stalkers and that sort of
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
You know how they are. Maybe you don't. Have you ever had a stalker, Autumn?
No, not really.
Really? Well,
No, I don't
get
think
used to it, because now
Hey,
you're getting ready for the big time.
Auto Pritz.
You're on
You can
web,
find me
man.
online.
You're a web star.
That's right.
Look out, Jenna Marbles.
I love Jenna Marbles.
She's from my hometown.
Oh,
I
yeah?
say that about somebody on every show. I don't know if you've noticed
From
that.
my
but
hometown.
She's from Rochester, New York.
Frogman.
Frogman is
all the way from
want the Frogman
13
entrance?
feet away. Yeah, do we have that?
The Olympic theme. Is
Wait,
that
wait.
How
let's
did you
do it
get
for
here
real.
so quickly?
Yeah, let's have another intro.
Just stall. Keep
Is he
going.
on camera?
He'll be on camera.
Okay.
I'll give you all the cues.
Oh, this
Eric,
is
speak for a second.
we should explain for a moment here that Michael, when growing up, had a dream of being a wrestler, and he came up with a whole shtick for himself, and it was called the Frogman,
Right.
which he will fill us in more after his entrance. But the grand entrance was part of it, and he worked on that, and he had all these moves. And are you ready for him to make his grand entrance?
Yeah, I'm going to have to turn the monitor up a little bit so hopefully it doesn't feedback. Hold on. Not yet. I'll give you the cue. You can keep explaining while
Well, he wants to explain. He's the Frogman.
Not yet.
Oh, you came in too soon. He said, "Not yet. Go back. Go back." Ah. I know, but we came in too soon, Michael. No wonder he's not a wrestler. Hey! Oh, Michael. This is why he did not have what it took to be a real wrestler. Now wait for your cue, and that's Autumn saying now. You don't. Ready? Go. Oh, what happened? No, wait, stop. Stop.
This is not WWE professional.
Camera died.
How did the camera die? It's been plugged in all morning.
Done.
Whose idea was this?
Mine.
Oh, for the love of Christ. Will you just sit down? Just sit down.
All right, forget it.
Yeah, it's like a joke, and then you keep explaining it, and then at this point, it's just going to die.
Now we just have a
Put Autumn on the computer. That's
Black
a brilliant
screen.
idea.
Make sure that's completely closed behind you, or it's going to look real like trashy.
Because that wrestling entrance wasn't trashy enough.
So,
People, you see this as unprofessional. I see this as like, oh, people are getting behind the scenes.
no,
it's
no,
like
no,
they're there with
no,
us.
no. I think it is. It's fine. I'm
okay?
fine with that. I just, I don't. Hold on, make sure. I just don't think that joke was going to work at that point. Maybe
Right.
we'll go back and
Dissecting a frog.
we will revisit
was
it
fun.
in good time.
Ooh, people got to see my belly.
Yeah, speaking of your belly, I feel bad because we're keeping you here doing this safety show,
Yeah.
and although you're being a warrior and everything about it, it seems to me like you're having a bad pregnancy day. You're kind of like holding yourself a little bit and moaning, or is this just the way that it normally is at this stage?
Oh, I guess it's just the way it is. I mean, there's like a lot of extra weight on the front of me.
Yes,
you know?
well, that's how it works.
Yeah, and like your pants dig into certain parts, and you feel the baby moving, and it's just weird.
But
and
you know,
then-
to give you a compliment, you're about
Tired.
as hot as you can be when you're pregnant.
Really?
I think. No, that's relative.
Me
It's
personally.
when you're pregnant.
Yeah.
for a pregnant person.
This comes up every. I mean, it's only the second show, but it
You think
comes
I have a
up-
fetish?
I think you do.
You think I like
I think
the big?
you've
Maybe-
adopted my fetish.
Maybe you're just surprised that I don't look.
Because
a certain way.
you're not gaining the weight up here. You know, like a lot of times the face and the neck and everything. And maybe that's still to come. How many months are you now?
7.
So
Yeah.
No,
so
it's in weeks, not
it's
months.
27 weeks, I think.
They don't do months. Autumn told me.
Yeah, they don't.
What's
Because
the-
so
what's
much
the ma-
happens in a month
right.
that it seems crazy to just say, oh, a month.
Oh, so you want to know which week? Because the
Yeah,
27th
because
week is like
this
the heart's
week-
beating or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know I'm stupid. I'm
Oh, the heart's beating. Yeah, Eric,
yeah,
the
right.
heart's beating.
more like 5 days.
Yeah.
The heart beats first, and then the baby grows around it.
Stupid. I want to pat
So
you on
you
the
guys
head.
are doing a couple. I'm this sort of interests me here. You guys are. First of all, you don't know the sex of your baby.
Correct.
Why?
Because it'll be fun to find out, like, on the day of, I guess.
Don't you want to know? Doesn't Travis want to know if he's going to be let down with a girl first, right now, rather than it happening right there?
It'll
If
be
you-
fun to throw out all those pink clothes they bought.
Yeah.
I think that's what happens.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, in Italy, all the men wear pink. It's not a feminine color.
Oh.
You seem defensive. I don't know where that came
Yeah, it
from.
does
Do you
seem
have something
defensive.
pink? You got a feather boa you're going to be walking around with
I have
later?
a pink shirt that I never wear because society in this country judges me.
Well, then
In
you
this
shouldn't
country.
care about their judgment. What the hell does that have to do with her being pregnant?
I was just going to say because you don't know the sex of the baby, so you either get neutral colors or you buy.
Well, what do
or
you
people
do?
give you clothes and you have pink ones and you throw them away because
get-
God forbid the boy wears pink.
Right. Well, and when they're tiny, people don't know anyway. I mean, people
Right.
complain about their little girls dressed in pink and that people come up to them and say, oh, what's his name? They're like, it's a girl. They
Well, if
freak
there's a
out.
bow in the hair, you should be able to figure out
Right.
that it's a girl,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Just trick people. And
So are you just
Yeah.
not buying anything right now?
Nope, we're not preparing at all. No, we
I mean, you can't buy. First of all,
no, you just buy neutral things. There's a lot of neutral
it's all
stuff.
Oshkosh bagosh and all that nonsense, right?
Yeah.
Is that still in?
No.
The kids used to all wear
it not?
Oshkosh bagosh.
Oh,
What's
like the little overalls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing in the
It's
world.
all Target. Whatever Target is selling, everyone's.
Don't
So,
tell
so
me
did Jenkos. Those used to be
Yeah.
in too back when I was in middle school.
What's the Jan? What is that?
Jenkos is when
Those big pants.
It's
those
just
big
pants legs that
tubes.
were so big that you could fit like an entire family in one of them.
I had
Some
a
of the
pair
cuffs,
of Jinkos.
the cuffs of the legs were bigger than the waist sometimes.
They are still very popular in the Juggalo community, though. So
I'll
don't
bet.
count those people out. They are
Yeah.
a gang of a horde of people.
So
Yeah,
is
they
being
might start
being an
attacking us.
absolute moron. That's very popular with the
Oh,
Juggalos
absolutely.
as well.
I never got. I couldn't when I was growing up. We weren't that well off. We couldn't afford the Jenkos, but
Mm-hmm.
I did wear. I did used to wear my dad's jeans because they were so much bigger than me, and I looked like a fool. I'm not gonna lie. Still wearing them though, as it turns out.
Well, it looks like you were just in early. That's all.
I'm cheap
That's right.
too.
So you're gonna know right there. It's a boy. It's a
I guess
girl.
so, yeah.
How can they hide that from you in the? Because I've seen that you have the ultrasound pictures.
Yeah.
So how when not to brag on my son who just turned 16, but when the ultrasound, it was rather obvious that we had a boy on our hands.
Well, we told the technician or whoever that we don't want to know the sex. So,
they withhold those pictures and just give you like
Right.
the
like, here's the
G-rated
head
pic.
and
you
here's
get,
a leg.
You get only G-rated pictures.
Yeah, G-rated. I don't want to. Yeah. It's child porn. Otherwise, they can't do that.
Oh, I know that. I don't know if I've told this story on air, but a very good friend of mine who cuts my hair. I won't say her name, but she's a wonderful, wonderful person. I've known her for years.
Tenacia.
And no,
The same one who used to frost your tips.
Yes,
Remember that
remember
phase?
when
Yes,
I went
I
through the
did.
phase where I had the frosted. I don't want to be old phase. Yeah,
That 20-year phase.
yeah. She was great. It was before when I was doing the Mad Pundit nonsense and everything. But anyway, she to this, I have hair that doesn't really need it. I could go to a barber shop but I still go to her because I've known her for so long. So I think her child must be 8 years. This was when I was still at 96 Rock. I think the second time around. And so her baby daughter is born. And as soon as her baby daughter is born, like a proud mother, she gets a picture of the kid and she sends it. She emails it to everybody, and the kid's nude, but nobody cares. It's a 1-day-old baby, right? Well, she accidentally blows it up to this mammoth size. So I'm at work and I'm clicking through my stuff, and she had her baby, and you hit it, and it's like wham, baby parts, boom.
Baby vagina.
Then
right?
you got-
Yeah, you
Vagina.
just like I don't even want to say that.
Then your computer
Although it was
melted.
my punk band, baby vagina.
That's when you yelled out on the first time this was ever yelled on 96 Rock. I got to throw another computer away.
So immediately, bam, and then about an hour later, she sent an apology email. Apparently, she had sent that out to everyone like
Right.
that. And but I was at work when I opened it up with people all around me, What are you guys doing? You get so that I can't even.
Nothing's
do
happening.
Just like
I know the people you used to work with. Some people there maybe would have gotten into it. I'm not naming names.
For those of
No
you
one-
not
no-
watching,
no one
he
saw
just
that-
addressed
no
Autumn.
No one saw it. No, but it's nothing.
Are you talking to
What-
about
what-
me?
Nothing. I don't. Never mind.
Ever since that bit didn't work, are you having
No,
a
there was a.
Did
head
Woody
nod.
Allen work
Breakdown?
there?
Yeah.
Just think if there was. Don't even get into it. If there were one person who
Right.
would possibly be in.
I want to change the subject. I'm on my second show.
Oh.
I'm not thinking of anybody who would. No, I never worked with anybody that would. What? I'm moving on. Anyway, now I have to know
Right.
behind the scenes the person that you're talking about. So, anyways, it was an innocent mistake on her part, but I opened it up at work and bow.
Yeah, it does seem weird, just to like.
First
here's
of all,
a picture of a
put some
vagina
pants.
or
Put some pants
penis.
on your kid before you send that first picture out. That way you don't have to worry about.
It was from the hospital, though, right? It was
right.
like
It was
brand
right
new.
from. It was like an hour old.
Yeah.
Not even. You know,
Yeah.
it was like brand new.
Just so you know, you're singing the Bow Chicka Bow Wow song wrong. You just keep saying Chapow, but that's not how that song goes.
I just. Chapow,
Bow,
chapow,
chicka,
pow,
bow.
Pow, pow.
chapow, po.
You sick freak.
And very quickly, just because we started it, I do, even though you're not going to make your grand entrance, I would like you to explain to us the Frogman, your idea when you were a kid to be a wrestler, what the moves were going to be and what the whole deal was going to be.
No, I always had I mean, I grew up. I wouldn't say I was like a fanatic wrestling fan, but I enjoyed wrestling, like pro wrestling, and I always had this like weird fantasy of becoming a professional wrestler. And I don't know, it was because when I was a kid, my dad nickname for me was the Frogman.
Oh,
because
there
I
you
looked
go.
like a little frog, I guess.
I can still see it.
Thank you.
Bearded now.
Yeah, the
bearded
bearded
frog.
frog. That sounds like a really sick sex move.
It does.
Oh, he
bearded
tried
frog.
the bearded frog.
It's very, very similar to the blue waffle. Anyway,
Some ladies love it, many don't.
he so I always wanted to be and I would like not pretend wrestle, because I guess that's a, you shouldn't have to say pretend in front of it, but
Yeah.
we would wrestle like in the living room, and anytime our parents would leave, or whoever's my buddy's house, the parents would go away, we just push all the furniture aside and we'd wrestle each other. And
I went through those years.
yeah, absolutely.
myself.
Sometimes through college a little bit.
Yeah, it'll extend.
Uh,
Did you ever wrestle the couch? I used to
No,
pull
but
the
we
pillows off the couch and like put them in moves and
no, we would use the couch as like the ring,
Right,
as, like to get on the ropes.
uh-huh.
But anyway,
jump
so
off.
I
right,
had
yeah.
I always, my character that I came up with, I wanted to be called Frogman, and I would like look like a frog, and I would like my finishing move, which is all I really had planned, was the finishing move, and I would get to the top rope. and, like,
Beginning, middle, no problem.
Nah, not
Yeah.
really. I would just crouch like a frog, and then like the lights would go out, and then you'd hear like swamp music, and the place would be like, "Oh, he's about to do the move! He's about to frog him!" or whatever. I didn't have a name for it, and then I
He's
would
gonna give him the frog, the bearded frog.
yeah, a little ribbit, and then I would splash on the dude or whoever it was.
Splash on the dude. What does that mean? We splash on the
Look,
dude.
wrestling,
Very
gay
sexual.
porn, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You could have intertwined either one.
That's
of
your
those.
love that.
finishing move.
When wrestling goes so far that a guy gets on the turnbuckle and just
splashes.
whizzes on the guy below him. That's his signature move.
See,
The golden shower.
That would end the match if I were the guy on the mat.
yeah.
That's a submission move.
You know
it's
what?
over.
I don't
You
think I
meant
want to be a wrestler.
submissive.
Yeah, he's your own.
It'd be a good way for the rookie wrestlers. How bad do you want to be a wrestler? You're going to lose to this guy, and he has
Exactly.
this one move at the very end. And
You're just pisses in your mouth. Drink
He's gonna
that,
piss
bitch.
on him.
did you have to add the in your mouth part? I thought that went a little bit above.
I wanted to be as realistic as possible
that
when
ki-
describing it.
Is that will that kill you?
No.
Well,
No.
I don't
Do you
know.
have the internet?
I do, but I have not looked up whether or not that will kill you.
Well, I've
sterile.
seen, we don't have to talk about this right now.
Uh-oh, what have you seen?
I've seen a lot of stuff on there. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, yeah. The internet has
Mouth peeing?
Absolutely.
has removed
Do
all
they like
innocence.
gargle? Like,
Yeah, it's disturbing.
Do you think it's real?
Yes, it's real.
Yeah.
No, they're using
Do they
lemonade.
swallow it?
I don't know. I had clicked out at that point. I'm
It was
down to
so
watch
warm.
anything once, but sometimes I just can't stick around. It's
No, I
depressing.
can't watch the bad stuff. You know, like
Especially when the girl's like super cute.
Yeah,
It's like, what
yeah.
are you doing?
you remember.
Come let me do that to you for free.
I'll be sweet to you after.
I'll show you some respect. You remember when that 2 girls in a cup thing was big? I never watched it.
Me neither.
Everybody I know.
Here it comes.
No. It won't even come into this house. It's blocked.
Is it really?
No, but I mean, what is the entertainment value in that? To me, that is the same thing as people who would watch Al Qaeda
pulling it up.
beheading people videos. Like, what is the
Spectacle.
entertainment factor there?
I think it's just shock. There's shock value.
It's complete shock value. Yeah.
So there's two girls and one sits on a cup.
No.
No,
Yep,
I
basically.
have not seen it either.
I would assume that the one girl holds the cup, right?
Look,
There's poop
do,
or
do you want me
something.
to
Yeah.
actually describe it? Because it's
No,
no,
let's move, then
come on.
you
No,
have
let's
to
move
move
on.
away
My
from it.
point
then,
was, my point was, I've never seen it because I can't get into that scatological stuff. It's not my
Yeah, I'm
thing.
not interested either.
I
There's
saw
a
something.
firewall between the bathroom and the bedroom in my mind.
I don't think
Should be.
anybody's interested in it.
What if
Oh.
you have you had sex in the bathroom?
Sure.
You
Yeah.
said there's a firewall.
No, but I mean only because.
Would it be weird though? Would you start thinking like, oh, I've pooped in here? It's
Yeah,
weird.
I know it is funny. You know what I think about that? I think about that whenever I see people with their selfies in the mirror, the bathroom
Oh,
mirror,
yeah.
and they're trying to be all sexy, and I'm thinking, like 15 minutes ago they were probably sitting
Yeah.
taking a dump.
That's
in
why
that
they
same
feel
room.
so much better, like confident.
Oh,
like,
look
ooh,
at
I lost
me!
some weight.
I'm feeling good. I'm looking good.
Right.
Um,
Dropped off the poison.
no, but I mean the sex in the bathroom thing happens because they put the shower in there. So as long as you're gravitating toward the right equipment, the shower as opposed to the commode, I think you're okay,
Commode. Bend over that toilet.
baby.
What is going on with today's show?
I don't know. It's
Snow
because
day.
it's a safety show, and we
It's snow
you know,
day.
Well, yeah, we're supposed to be talking about the conditions
Snow
outside,
day.
we did. We told people,
even though we don't know what they're going to be.
well, we don't know what they're going to be. Either one of two
It's a
things.
mess.
Either it's a
a
mess,
big mess.
or it was, or we
Frozen.
really, really overreacted. And I don't know if the overreaction is because we're doing this as a safety show on Tuesday, and Tuesday was supposed to be a bit of a mess, and it turned out not to be. So, but this stuff that's falling right now, it's got that mixture of.
Yeah, it's definitely
Icy,
dense,
sleety.
Yeah. It's gonna
It's
be
gonna
nasty
happen.
tomorrow.
Gotta wrap this up, or else you people will be sticking around here all night long.
I know.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's why I need
And I can't even
visitors
get
all night.
drunk.
You
I know.
guys
It's the worst.
want to know the difference between sleet and ice rain?
Oh yeah, was this a Channel 2 report here in Atlanta, Georgia, WSB?
was.
What's their slogan? On your side, or local, live, and up to date,
Late breaking.
local, live, updates.
Late breaking.
What late breaking makes it seem like they're late breaking the news.
It is true. Yeah, we're always late.
What does that mean? They go into the night? They'll
Let the
break-
others.
Is it like the latest? The latest.
Yeah,
news?
that's what it means. But
Isn't that funny that seems
the
like
latest breaking news.
who came the latest?
Yeah.
Oh, it was me. I'm really sorry.
We're late. We're always late.
I'll tell you who
breaking
came
the
up with
news.
that. Some marketing guy who has no talent at all, but is good at fooling people, and he got paid a lot of money
Yeah,
for
it
it
sounds
too.
good.
And everyone, the collective cry of agreement went to the ionosphere when he's like, "Yeah, I've got it.
Live.
Late breaking. Oh yeah, that's the best.
Sounds
Here's your giant paycheck now. You no talent fool."
Jesus.
I don't
No.
like marketing people. Can you
No,
tell?
he's the, no,
I cannot
he's the
stand
guy.
him.
He's the guy that is like, okay, time for a brainstorm session.
And then it's not a brainstorm. My brainstorm. Don't you open your mouth?
Right. No, at Cumulus in the conference room, there was, this to me is just hilarious. Maybe it won't be to anybody else, but there was a poster that had the 7 rules of brainstorming. The first rule was nobody's wrong. There are no bad ideas.
Sure.
I mean, but the idea is with brainstorming, you think that people would have an idea of how to do it, but in corporations, they actually have a poster that's on the wall that tells you how to do something that supposedly has no rules.
Ah, I see what you're
Wonderful.
saying.
But whoever made the poster made a bunch of money because all these corporate
have a-
idiots put them in there.
Did it have a cat hanging somewhere?
It should
Just
have.
hang in there.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I love the, there are no bad ideas in brainstorming. Yes, there are. That's the whole concept is you get the 9 crappy ideas out of the way so you can get to the jewel.
They should just say, don't start out your idea with, I don't know if this is any good, but
Yeah.
that's all you have to do.
Or how about this? How about if, really, this is free form? We can do whatever we want? Yeah, you know what? I kind of think this corporation sucks. That's not- it's-
That's a great idea.
I thought you said there was no bad ideas.
Yeah, I'll
Is that a
take
good
it.
idea? Yeah.
Thank you for contributing, Eric.
Yeah, I think that we should let people know just what a drag it is to work at such a place.
I think I'm starting to realize why you were let go.
Yeah,
What
I
was
did not
going
have
on behind the scenes.
I didn't have a good attitude. I can tell you that right now. I did not have a good attitude. But I didn't go to a meeting for the last year and a half. if
What's
that
the
tells
point?
You, anything.
You were doing that show for how long? You
That
don't
was
need to go to
mine.
meetings.
That was it. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna go to a meeting and sit and listen to Larry and Steve fight again. I have to go home and take a bath. I got things to do. For heaven's sakes, I'm a
I
busy
gotta
man.
get high and get in my bath.
That's right.
He's got girls and cups to not worry about.
That's right. There's pot to be smoked.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna sit here and listen to these 2 rednecks go at each other.
Oh, boy.
The whole time I was there, I will not dwell on the regular guys show because I don't think it's a very good thing to do on a new show.
People love it. Though.
Whenever, but I will tell you this: that whenever Larry and Steve had tension go at, all I heard, and I would just shut down. I was like, okay, let these two idiots ramble it out, and I'm just going to shut down.
Like an abused wife.
In my mind, no matter what the conversation was, this is all I heard. I heard Larry saying, "You're not legitimate," and Steve going, "Yes, I am legitimate." "No, you're not legitimate." "Yes, I am legitimate," and the whole thing could go on for like 10 or 15 minutes. That was the whole
Sure.
play was, I'm better than you. No, you're not. I'm great too.
It was two egos fighting each other, not people.
Yeah.
Maybe.
People who shouldn't have egos, even. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
You know who
Like,
doesn't?
don't you know what a piece of garbage you are? What?
Whoa.
You know who doesn't have an ego? David Chanley. He just cares about reporting the weather to us.
That's right. So we started on this little ramp.
teaching us.
Channel 2 is going to explain to us what the weather is.
I've always the difference between sleet and freezing rain.
So this isn't Sesame Street. This is for adults.
You're going to learn something here.
Okay. All right.
Precipitation types ahead over the next about 48 hours. Of course, we talk about rain, snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Snow, very easy. It's snow, comes out of the cloud as a snowflake, falls through a column of air that's down below
Wait,
freezing,
slow down.
stays a snowflake till it reaches the ground. Sleet
Okay.
starts as a snowflake, melts with a little warm layer there, a few thousand feet above the ground. It then has a chance to refreeze and comes down as an ice pellet. Typically, those will bounce on the ground. Here's the big concern.
Whoa.
Freezing rain starts as a snowflake, melts through this warm layer of air,
Is that
goes
the
all
Kipper?
the way to the ground as a
Kimmer?
raindrop, and then
Idiots
hits
say
something that is frozen and then freezes on
Whoa.
contact.
That's what we're worried about, right?
Yes.
What about the snowflakes that open up into the Olympic rings? Does he cover that? No.
Some of them don't open.
The person who was responsible for those Olympic rings when they malfunctioned, I'm sure, was taken down to the dungeon underneath
Yeah.
Olympic Stadium. Putin himself
Yes.
does his tie, puts on brass knuckles, and beats the shit out of him. And then he comes back up to this luxury suite, and blood all over his shirt.
Problem
that
solved.
man lost his life.
Problem solved. I can see Vladimir Putin, like they have the guy down underneath the stadium, and I can see him walking in and he removes a ring, and he takes off his watch, and then
Super
slowly,
relaxed.
slowly takes. The guy's tied up in a chair. He drinks a little tea, and then he just wallops the crap out of him for 4 minutes, and then puts the running jacket back up. and
Cannot
goes
do
back
your
out there.
job.
There was a fake
get it,
story
too.
that went around that guy got killed.
Oh,
He was
yeah, I
found
saw that,
dead.
too.
But it's gotten to the point now where it's so hard. It used to be that The Onion was the only really satirical site out there, but there's about 3 of them now. And there was a few stories going around where you go, well, it's not The Onion. It seems ridiculous, but maybe it's true.
yeah.
But there's a few of them now.
Well, I think it's just that we get the news from so many different places. So there's a lot of like UK, newspapers that are fake newspapers that we
right.
don't know. We're like, oh, this is
Oh my
real.
God.
We just don't know it's not the Onion.
So many of them are poorly written, though. Like The Onion, there's jokes. Even if there's subtle
Yeah,
jokes.
really
Yeah,
bad.
You're like,
yeah.
all right, this is satire. But
Right.
no.
The
Some
other
of these are
guys
just
don't know how to
fake
do it
stories.
because they immediately, like in the first paragraph, will throw in something so ridiculous that you realize, all right, this can't be true. Because, first of all, the story that I saw, the fake story, was that guy who was responsible for the snowflake opening to the Olympic ring was found brutally beaten and killed the next day. And immediately I'm like, no, because the way Putin is, no, that would happen 6 mones after the Olympics.
Quiet, on the
the,
hush
the
hush.
evil is not this way. But
There's a good one in Atlanta called the Atlanta Banana that does similar, but they're a little bit more like it could be real.
Oh, I
Yeah.
saw that. Yeah.
yeah. That's a good one.
I wonder.
And I'm not saying that just because I contribute and write columns for them.
Well, you should. Well, give yourself a plug there. What
I
is
do,
it?
yeah.
AtlantaBanana.com or something?
atlbanana.com.
I met a couple people from that publication once.
Yeah,
they were very
it's,
nice.
it's really cool. And it's a
Think
good thing
one
to
guy's
check
a
out.
roast. So you don't know even what's what's interesting about that is that when you watch the Saturday Night Live news, they're the ones that are the furthest behind. They're still doing set up punchline, and you read a really good Onion story is just so well done. Just so they're making
Daily
fun
Show
of the
is-
whole concept of how it's delivered to you.
I get most of my news from the Daily Show.
I figured that.
I mean,
Daily
it's
Show
still
kinda-
news.
it
It's not
bugs
the
me.
Onion.
It's news-ish.
Well, it's
It's
news.
newsy.
With an actual opinion.
Right.
I don't like the Daily Show.
You can go ahead, say
Yeah.
it.
I feel
I
like
don't watch it,
I'm
but-
like going against my generation by not
Yeah,
liking
I'm
it.
shunning you right now. You're
Yeah.
done.
It's so smug. You know, like he's always like I feel like every opinion or every joke or every story has like a little smirk, like, you guys are stupid.
Yeah.
You know, and
we're really smart.
Yeah.
And
it's just the attitude behind
well, that was I remember
me.
when I was on the left, which I was a leftist when I first started out in my thinking about politics, and that's the way that we really felt. Well, the way that we felt was, and I think the ding dongs on the right are like this too, who can do nothing but tweet about how bad Obama is. All right, it's been 6 years. Okay, I don't need my Twitter feed every single day. Look what he's up to now.
Right.
You are an obsessed asshole. All right, I may not have voted for him, but you're an obsessed asshole. And now I'm lost my train of thought. Where the hell was I going with that?
You're tired. You don't like the idea of the leftist.
Oh yes, I was.
Thing,
So the idea when I was a leftist was, we're smart. We know we're right. There's no doubt that we're right, and the people who are against us, they must know we're right too. So they're just a bunch of really big liars trying to sort of get. There was nothing in our mind made us think, oh, we just disagree. We have different points of view. Both sides at the extremes not only believe they're right, but believe the other side knows that they're right. And it becomes that kind of battle. And that's
maybe
what you
they
get.
like pity the other side, like, oh, you guys don't know any better.
Not a lot of pity, I don't think. It's like with well, we'll get to this in the news because there's some. Oh, I want you to do the Obamacare story just so I can tell you that I don't want any more Obamacare stories. But we have to do at least one, and I'll do a little break here, and we can talk about Patreon for a moment. But I do want to talk to people on the right about, they're really screwing themselves with this Obama obsession. It really is. If you want people to vote for you, get that fucking wild-eyed look out of your fucking face, all right? Because this is what's holding you back.
You dropped the F word.
I did. I dropped
Face.
it twice. Yes. I dropped it 3 times if you include face. Because you're scaring people with the intensity of your opposition, right? You're not just showing up and saying, I disagree with that guy. People can accept that. I disagree with that guy, and that's why I don't think he's a good president or whatever. But, if you're going to do nothing but tweet for 16 hours a day about how much you hate the president, it says that you are mentally ill. And people realize that. No one should be that obsessed with the president. Let me tell you something. The president is not that important to your life. On the margins, the president can help you a little bit, or the president can hurt you a little bit. But if you're not working right now, guess whose fault it is? Yours. It's not the president's fault, because if you want to work, you can work. You may not be able to work where you want to work, but if you want to work, you can work. I'm getting so sick and tired of this pussy generation coming out of college right now. Oh, there are no jobs. My son's 29 years old. He works his ass off. He's got a waiting job he goes to all the time. He's doing coding, programming coding for the thing that he's going to do with his career, working 2 jobs. He's 29 years old. He doesn't have any problem finding a job. But once you get it, you got to show up every day, and you got to have the right attitude, and you got to do things that you may not necessarily like. But if you're unemployed and you're blaming the president, you're a loser. I'm sorry.
I personally think I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no, you're not. Go ahead.
And it sounds like I'm setting up for a joke, but it's not. I think social media is completely to blame for that attitude, because there's this expectation of instant gratification,
right?
Because you put up a picture, a meme, a post, and you get all these likes immediately. It's like, oh, I love it, great, you're the best, blah blah blah, and then if they don't get that in other areas of their life, it's like, who the hell are you to not tell me? Well, screw you. I deserve. Look at I can. Right. I think it's just that attitude kind of stems, or maybe that's not the cause of it, but that's definitely a great.
No, it's part of.
View into the mindset,
psychological makeup of people now, right?
Because the kids that are coming out of college now and they're in high school, they never didn't have Facebook or never didn't have social media to be aware of what it's like to not have that immediate.
Yeah, they want applause. You get applause when you graduate college, but now it's the real world. Yeah. And I got news for you. The real world is tough. It has always been tough. It's tough for rich people. It's tough for poor people. I got news for you. The richest people in the world get the diagnosis of cancer from time to time. Life happens to everybody.
But they can pay for the doctors.
Well, for the poor, we pay for the doctors.
Right. Not Steve
the
Jobs.
Doctors are paid for. Yeah, and then you got to do something. Dummy, I should say, because I love Steve Jobs, who decided to go all natural when he just found out he had whatever kind of, was it pancreas or liver that he had?
Pancreas.
Pancreatic.
Pancreatic. I mean, that's a death sentence. It really is.
But also, kids are raised a little bit differently without any, grit. Like everyone gets, not a lot of places give participation trophies, and like, everyone is awesome. Everyone is unique. Everyone is amazing. You can do anything. And it's like, well, maybe some people can't do anything.
No, I'll tell you, it's some of the worst thing now.
Some people can like pull themselves up from a poor background or something,
But you know what? The message needs to get to you when you're poor that you can do it. You're more likely to do it if you're poor and you're young and you get some mentorship that says you don't have to be in this situation your whole life.
But you have to work for it.
You have to work for it. Yeah. But what they have now is a lot of people in the inner city are like, this is not your fault. This is the fault of the president or George W. Bush or something like
or
that.
History
so you can just sit around and complain. Life is always hard. As a matter of fact, in order to have progress, now I'm really getting on my high horse, but this is philosophical here. In order to have progress, you have to have misfortune. We never would have taught ourselves how to build a house if it didn't rain on our heads. If every day was beautiful, right? I mean, it was the fact that, wow, that was a crappy day. I need to put something over my head the next time that water falls from the sky. It's overcoming obstacles.
Dude, that's why like rich people's kids
the
always turn
second
out so
generation.
crappy.
Yeah, the second generation always is just crap. Not
so
always.
Are you fixing your kids to not be like that?
I'm terrible. I let them get away with everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I can have my damn it, we're getting too soft, and I'm completely soft with my kids. And I'm a pushover.
Right.
Because with my kids, basically, there's a couple things that
double standard.
It is a double standard. With my kids, it's honesty. My feeling is if you're an honest person that can be trusted and you're willing to work for a living, you're going to be fine because you're going to make friends who believe in you and you will have the abilities and you will go to work. Like I said, if you want to go to work, there's always work to be found if you want to work. There's, my 29-year-old lived on his own for a long time, and then the apartment that he was staying in was in a house. And then that house was being sold. Oh, right. So he was told, you got to get out. So in between, he was like, hey, well, come live at home. In between, it was kind of sudden. But you know what? Then he got here. He's working his head off, and he's able to keep his money. He's able to actually save. He's actually, So while there's a lot of sort of conservative, tough guy stuff about, it's terrible having the kids back in the house, I don't think it's terrible.
Well,
I think it's great.
Yeah, it depends on what the kids are doing, right?
Well,
if
yeah,
they're
he's
just
working.
Loafing around and living like, Mom, I need my laundry done.
Right.
When's dinner? And
well, there's some of
pick
that.
This up. Well,
there's some of that.
Some of that. But you're saying, he is working. He is contributing as a member of a household and not a dependent.
And I don't even want him to contribute to that. I just want him to build up savings. Right. Be able to go on his own.
And that's what you're here for. You're a net for your kids.
I agree.
No matter what age.
So it's supposed to be horrible, but we only have 4 in our nuclear family.
Right.
And I actually think it's kind of wonderful because we're not going to. The 4 of us are not all going to be healthy and with it. I'm going to be the first to go probably for only a certain number of years. So it's to me, I don't bitch and moan about that. I don't care where you're living as long as you're working. If you're working and you're honest, you're going to have a relative level of success in life. And if you're not successful, blaming the president is one of the reasons you're not successful because you blame people for your inadequacy.
That's just a tiny symptom. I mean, they're going to blame everyone or in their
these
situation. They're going to blame all of the things around them instead of themselves.
These right wingers that I on my Twitter thing. I mean, do they really think I'm going to perk up every 15 minutes when they discover something new about the guy who's been the president for 6 years and is going to be president for 3 more years? I mean, it's annoying. The guy's going to be there till 2016. Start getting your candidates together so that you can win the damn thing back then.
You're like a dad they want to impress.
Maybe.
Dad, look at the president. He's stupid.
Yeah, they all want because they
follow
think
me back.
I'm the Bob Dylan of the Tea Party. I showed up to help start it and I left immediately. Got out of there. I don't like groups because in the beginning the Tea Party. I just don't like groups because in the beginning the Tea Party was very libertarian. And that's what I was a part of. That
run by very, very low-key trillionaire Koch brothers.
Oh,
so that's something you should probably take into account.
Damn it, Michael! We had there were 150 of us in the pouring rain on the state capitol. Nobody funded a damn thing. Nobody I ever met the Koch brothers. And
you were fighting a cause you didn't know what it was for. That's
what if
fine.
the Koch brothers put money toward politics they believe in. Is that wrong? Does Bill Gates do that? Does Warren Buffett do that? Absolutely he does. So there's nothing wrong with that. But don't get me down that rat hole. You can't even name the Koch brothers. So
yes, I can.
I love
diet
Charles.
and caffeine free.
Charles is the good-looking one, I think.
is he? There's the Charles Koch?
Yes.
So
Guys,
anyway,
there's
my
a-
point is that
I thought
it was
diet was better.
it was highly
No,
libertarian.
that's his name. I distracted from your joke. Sorry.
His
I found him to be handsome. That's all.
He's so cute.
there is it was very libertarian in the beginning. And then Hannity came in and took it over. And then it became a Fox News thing. And then they started not talking about fiscal stuff. They started talking about gay marriage. And they started talking about the borders. And it was supposed to be about finances. It wasn't supposed to be about culture and things like
Yeah,
that.
more like emotional.
So once the crazies, I knew the crazies were coming, so I left early. And although I do not agree that when I was involved, I will tell you this, there was zero racism. And then you would come home and you would watch the news and be told it's just this racist bunch. And then the news coverage of Occupy was like, oh my God, these people are wonderful. Syringes everywhere, rumors of rape. Never, there's a picture of an Occupy guy pooping on a cop car that went nowhere. It was a one-day story. Imagine a 45-year-old guy from the Midwest in the Tea Party, and there's a picture of him pooping on a cop car. Would that not be an iconic image that would be everywhere now? I mean, it's so,
Well, part of it is, even if people were behind the movement, Occupy, you expect that from that guy. Like he looks like the kind of guy who'll poop on a cop car.
Right,
so I don't
right.
think you are completely taken aback if you see a picture of it.
Yeah, but my point is that the Tea Party people, when they had their big thing on Washington, big march deal, when that was over, they had all folded their chairs back up and stacked them over on the side because they're all 45-year-old
Right.
people or 50-year-old people
Gotta
that didn't
clean this
leave the
place
park. Occupy leaves a place. There's syringes everywhere, But the coverage is the Occupy people have a real beef, and it's good to have this kind of voice
feel
in
like they're
America.
not as legitimate.
Tea Party, dangerous, dangerous. One of them owns a gun, and they're only against the president because he's black.
Right.
So
Speaking of
what else to be-
Craven M in our social stream says, how about we drop the N-bomb every 15 minutes? Is that a
Here?
good idea? Do
Are you
think
talking
that's a
about
good idea?
America in general or us at the show?
Maybe the show, maybe I'm not sure.
what would the point be? What would
Ratings. That's why.
That's right.
Do you get good ratings? So you drop the N-bomb?
Apparently.
They're saying the N-word on that show. I gotta.
He's one of those marketing guys.
Yeah.
That's
he
right,
knows,
maybe
he knows
so.
what gets ratings.
No ideas are bad ideas,
I
right?
hate
So
you.
thank you, Craven M, for your
Yes, exactly.
suggestion.
We're going to table it for now.
Yeah,
but we
let's
might-
put a pin in that idea.
Yeah, we may bring it back up. There may be a time where dropping the N-word every 15
You know what?
minutes would
That's
actually help.
so Craven of them, though.
Ah.
That's so Craven.
You're not as old as I thought you were. You weren't in the That's So Raven crowd, were you? Were you able to catch the tail end of that by your age?
I mean,
Michael?
I'm aware of it. I never watched
Oh.
it, but
It was one of my
I pay
favorite
attention
shows.
to pop culture. Hello.
You missed a lot.
Oh.
You missed a lot.
That's why they call me Pop Culture Mike.
Let's do. Do they call you Pop
You have a
Culture
new,
Mike?
new nickname every show. That's why they call me this. We should do that.
Big Pop.
It's a new bit.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Patreon.com.
Yes.
This show, the morning show with EVH, is brought to you by you. And how can you get involved? I don't know. Do you hate what you're hearing on the radio airwaves? Do you hate what's going on out there, corporate radio? We're trying to do something different here. This is only our second show. We plan to grow and get the better equipment and better co-host, everything. We're going to upgrade as we go along.
Pop Culture Mike's not doing it for you?
But we will need we will always have Pop Culture Mike, I promise you. We will need
It just won't be you. It's a
Partners.
brand.
Yeah.
It's interchangeable.
it costs money to do all this, basically, to build this stuff here, and we want to take the show on the road. We have a lot of plans. We want to get this HD video side better quality than it is. That costs money. Question is, everybody bitches about corporate radio. Are you willing to help do something about it and go into business with me? I want to go into business with you. Get some skin in the game. If you go to patreon.com and look for Eric Von Radio, 3 different words, not all together like in the Twitter thing, you'll find a page there that gives you different levels that you could commit to us every month. And at the $10, no matter what level you commit at, your name will run in the credits of the show. We're going to try to figure out exactly how to make that happen. There are all kinds of little perks in there at different levels. There's even a $100 level for people who really want to do something about it. Become a member of the board at the $100 level, and meet with me twice a year, kind of a shareholders meeting. I consider you a shareholder. And the $10 level is very important to me because it's the founder level. And, if we had 1,000 people give $10 a month, we'd have an operating budget right there of $120,000 before we even bring in advertisers on top of it. And the advertising will never be too much. It's always going to be just select advertisers. But the more money we have from you, the more you invest in the show, the more you own the show, the more freedom we have. Yes, Greg? Look like you want to say something.
No, I was just making eyes with Autumn.
Oh, really? Is something going
We
on
still
here?
flirt.
I know. I was always surprised back in the old days that you guys never went there,
I talked about that with my husband.
Oh, really?
I was
He
like,
came
it's
up.
weird that we never. That
We
Greg and I,
slept in the same bed and sang Elton John
exactly.
songs.
So was
why wouldn't in our prime we were young, we were drunk, and
Yeah.
we would sleep in the same bed? Why didn't we fool around?
Well, Greg went through a whole phase where he just slept in beds with women and didn't do anything. That's behind
that
him.
is
When that, in that
his
little bit of
MO?
area.
When do you think that phase will end?
Still hasn't. My orgasm's mental. As soon as I know I can have sex with someone, these are Eric's words. It's
Yes.
done.
It's done.
I don't need to go through with it.
Orgasm is mental.
Yeah, you've already won, right? It's like they've already gotten the prize.
But I'm glad we never did, because then it might be a little bit funny now.
You think so?
Well, it might just.
Well, it's not like you don't bump into people you've had relations with. You must bump into a few.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not
actually.
saying there's been a lot. I'm just saying that.
There's been a lot. Everywhere I go.
Oh my God, another party. Okay, Travis. Before we talk to this guy, there's gonna be a little tension
So
again.
If you wonder why that lady was staring daggers at me, it's because I slept with her husband.
And also, the only one here who ever slept with Tim Andrews. So God bless her soul.
Oh, he's sweet.
We all have done charity
He's a
work in our
sweet
life.
little soul. He is.
I love Tim.
Right?
Tim's a good guy.
Yes.
I think he's great. So Patreon.com.
There's a lot of information in that.
I think
he's great.
I think he does great voices.
He's sweet as can be. He just has some. He's troubled.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, I'm not gonna get into his. Not that he might think about suing me for slander, but it would take way too much energy to do the paperwork,
Oh.
so we'd never actually go through with it. But
Oh,
so I
boy.
don't want to take advantage of that.
Oh, boy.
So Patreon.com. We're still doing that, right?
Oh yeah.
Go to Patreon.com. See the different levels, and I'm not going to say help us out. What I'm going to say is become an investor, and
Yourself out.
help radio out. Help us do the right thing.
Love it.
Help us have some good shows. Get some good stuff going on. Patreon.com. Look up Eric Von Radio. Go into business with me. I'll be happy to go into business with you. Autumn,
Yes.
what's in the news as far as we know right now, because we're doing this the day before?
That's right. Ow! I love the news part. The White House.
Hold on. That
Oh,
says news.
It really does.
Yes, it does.
I feel like we need the. Yeah, again. The White House has delayed health insurance for medium-sized employers until 2016.
2016 now. Now, so what's happened here is this is for small employers, so that's up to 50 people.
Right. So employers with 50 to 99 workers are
Yeah.
given until 2016, which is 2 years longer than originally planned.
No. It's up to 50. And then the 50 to 99, there's still some other stuff that you can get. But up to 50, they're completely getting rid of it. They did this already. It was supposed to go into effect, I think, in January of this year. And they gave them to 2015. Now they want to take it off.
It's companies with 100 workers or more are given the 1 year grace period.
Oh, okay. All
yeah.
right.
So it's 50 to 99 you can still get until 2016.
I got you.
Yeah.
Right. But they're basically what they're going to do is they're going to push it off, and everybody's
Right.
going to get a break until
Yeah.
we get through the midterm elections. And they're trying to take it off
Yeah.
the table as something that people are worried about, because it was about to be the next disaster. Now that the website is up and running,
Right.
it was going to be the next disaster because it's not ready to go. And the businesses themselves don't even know what really they're supposed to do.
Right.
And what they've been doing is they've been not hiring people to go over 50 or something like that, because they don't really know what their responsibility is at that point, and keeping people at part-time hours and things like that. It's another Band-Aid on just a
Mess.
traffic accident.
Yeah.
It's just like walking up to a traffic
The
accident.
Atlanta snowpocalypse
And the thing
of
was, yeah.
healthcare.
The thing was passed by the Congress and put into law, and now it keeps getting changed. So the president can just come out one day and say, well, these people don't have to pay for another year, and then you're stuck holding the bag. Well, how come I have to pay now? Why are they able to not pay?
You mean
The whole
people
thing
that
is-
have the
Well, just
Small amount of
individuals.
employee-
No, individuals that aren't off the hook. You know, the whole thing, if you don't have,
Oh.
you have to pay a fine at the end of the year, that sort of thing.
Right.
Which in and of itself is ridiculous. But that's about as much about Obamacare as I want to talk about, because one of my
Ever.
biggest things today is everybody, I mean, I stopped watching Fox News because every hour it was just, really, breaking news about Obamacare in December of 2013? Is that even possible? And, you know, there's too much talk of it on talk radio. I'm not for it. I think it's a bad program. But it's law right now. And if you want to do something about it, you got to run candidates who are going to get people, give them votes talking about repealing it. Otherwise, but just to obsess on the damn thing is absurd. It's a ridiculous thing that we have to deal with now. I mean, nothing about it is good. But you know what? When the country reelected Obama, look, elections, as they say, have consequences. If people were so pissed off about Obamacare, they could have gotten rid of the guy whose name is on it. They chose not to. They chose to keep him. And I always like to quote the great George Mitchell, who was a Democrat senator who ended up being the guy who did the Mitchell Report for Major League Baseball. And when he was Democrat senator, I think he might have been the chairman of the Iran-Contra hearings. He was one of the chairmen, because I can't remember who was in power at that time. But he was one of the main guys. He said to Ollie North was basically saying, the American people don't know that we need this, you know? And his response was, the American people have the right to be wrong. And as somebody who thinks Obamacare is wrong, that's my philosophy on it. We had 2 elections. It's not something the guy held up his sleeve. He talked about it both times when he was running, and it was a big deal. So you elected him, and now elections have consequences. And
Well, when you tell the majority of people here, I think everybody should have health care, because that's essentially what he was talking about. There was no details behind it. And it's like, oh, most people are like, yeah, we all should. I like this guy. And then it's like, well, hold on a second. It's going to screw everything up. But I'm already here. So.
Well, people have been trying to do this since Truman. And you would get these arguments in the 80s and 90s like, we've been trying to do this for 30 years. It's about time. And I would always think, well, maybe there's a reason that we've never implemented it in that 30 years or since Truman. This was the 80s.
What people don't realize is that you already have access to free health care.
Which is walking into the emergency room?
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
I
They can't
And
turn
if
you
you
away.
don't pay,
No, and they, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
All
they
you have
send
to do,
you to collections? Is that
no,
true?
yeah, but who cares?
Well, if
Send
you're
me to
young.
collections. Good luck. Get in line.
If you don't mind not having a good credit rating for the rest of your life.
I paid off my Amex bill, and
Yeah.
that I cared about, but the hospital visits,
Do you
take a
know
hike. They took me in an ambulance one time because I thought I was having a heart attack.
Panic attack?
Essentially, it was a panic
Yeah.
attack. And I said, well, by the time they showed up at my house, I was like, look, I'm feeling okay. And they're like, well, you have to go to the hospital. It's protocol. And I was like, all right, well, can I drive? Because I feel okay. They're like, no, you have to get in the ambulance. And I was like, all right. Got in. And they
So we
sent
can
me
charge
like
you $2,000.
Like about $1,500 bill for. It was a mile down the road. I was like, that's the most expensive cab ride I've ever had.
But they have to do that, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, and I don't have to pay it. And
Well,
I
that's right.
didn't,
But the reason they have to do it is because these guys get so many false calls. If it was only $200 to get an ambulance, they would be on more false calls.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
You
You
know,
get a
the
ride
old-
to the Chick-fil-A that's inside the hospital.
The old ladies, who call the police every time they can't find something in the attic. Well, I have some hot chocolate. How often they have to deal with like just
Some hot
lonely,
chocolate in the attic.
just lonely people. So I just wanted to talk to somebody. Meanwhile, somebody's getting raped 3 blocks away, and there's no cop there for her. So once again, the old people ruining this country.
I know, they really are.
What else?
Well, you know who wasn't old but died? Was
Yes.
Marius the giraffe. Do you know this story?
I am somewhat familiar. This is a story that's outraging everybody. Michael,
it's
have you heard?
crazy.
So tell people what happened. Where is
So,
this? Where is this?
It's in
Denmark or-
Copenhagen.
Go ahead.
The this giraffe was euthanized. In the end, it was to avoid inbreeding. So this zoo participates in this international breeding program
Of giraffes.
Of giraffes.
We've got too many giraffes.
Well, the giraffes that they had
Right.
had a. I guess they were threatening to breed with
They were
I guess their
circling.
relatives.
Okay.
So they had to.
Can we slap a big giraffe rubber on them? Giraffe condom?
Gosh, how big would that be?
Wait, did they do this in front of people? Like,
Yes.
was
Yes,
this
oh my
a
God, so
public
listen.
Execution?
So-
Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin
It's
it.
amazing. Oh, it's terrible. After
Well,
an
not-
autopsy. Okay, so first, a veterinarian shot Marius with a rifle as he leaned down to munch on rye bread,
Now,
which
there's
was
an
his
audience.
favorite snack. Okay, and then
Hold on, you should explain.
no, he didn't get shot in front of the audience,
Okay.
but he did. After an autopsy, the giraffe was dismembered in front of an audience that included children and fed to the zoo's lions, tigers, and leopards.
Well,
No.
I mean, circle of life, right?
Well, that's what they're saying.
They are saying-
that zoos should not sugarcoat the wild.
Let's
And
yeah.
How was that the wild?
They said that they felt like they had an obligation, and this is quotes, not to make nature into Disney World, but rather show those who are interested the real thing.
Yeah.
The reality of the Serengetis is when they ate wild Pepperidge Farm rye bread. You morons.
Apparently, though, the outrage is from, for the most part, other parts of the world, like United States and stuff. There's some of this is being played as, well, you just don't understand our culture. Our
yeah.
children like to watch giraffes getting dismembered and fed to lions.
It is part of the cult. They said that the
freaked
way
me
that
out.
they explain themselves is very Copenhagen of them or something. It's like they should have said it in this nicer way. They should have
Yeah.
approached it a nicer way.
Right.
But because I guess they are Copenhageners or
Great
these
tour.
people,
have you ever had a giraffe burger?
it's delicious.
You put a little bacon on it and some. I don't know why they're German in Copenhagen.
That's all German over there.
Yeah, right.
It was
But yeah,
threatened to me
so-
anyway.
You
Well, I
put
think
a
that's-
little bacon, a little seal meat on it. You ever had seal meat giraffe burger?
And apparently they
It's great for
breed.
tourism, don't you think? Wow, I want to go there. Usually you put your best face forward, best foot forward, best face. Put your best face forward.
Sure.
And this is to be either. I don't think it's going to be good for tourism, because people will think they're doing this all the time. Is this rare?
Why would it be good for tourism to go to a zoo where
Cares
they
about
euthanize
giraffes,
someone?
by the way? Are there any wild giraffes left with their big, long, dumb necks munching on branches and trees?
Well, they
Who
evolved.
needs? What are they taking care of the tree population?
Yeah.
Too many leaves in this goddamn world. Let's get rid of them. Put the giraffes on them. Kill the stupid thing.
I've always wondered how giraffes even made it through the evolutionary thing, because they're so big. I would think that lions and tigers
They're not
would
even
take them
cute.
down.
They got these like dick horns on their head.
So you're all in favor of this?
Stupid giraffe. Get out of my face. You're spotted like a cheetah. Get out of here.
Wow. They're so nice.
They're camouflaged against a brick wall. Stupid giraffes. You should kill them all.
I like the fact that you now have an open letter to all giraffes.
Yeah.
Die already.
Listen up.
Your lanky
talked-
legs.
Greg
you
and
don't,
I-
never trust an animal that can gallop moments after being born. Stupid giraffes.
It seems like you
They fall
want
6
that.
feet to the ground. You got to give them some kind of credit. You fall 6 feet, then
Yeah,
you.
they also fall for the old dumb rye bread in my hand trick, and then they get murdered. Oh, there's a picture of it getting eaten. Look at that.
Nom.
Oh, look at Michael.
I
He's
think
such an internet dentist.
rye bread. How can you resist rye bread?
You know, it's true. Now, was it seedless?
That's a good
Oh,
question.
I love the seeds.
It was in
Bring it
Copenhagen, so
on.
it definitely wasn't Jewish rye.
I don't like rye.
Ah.
I don't like rye.
Oh, I love
Not
it.
a fan of the rye.
Really?
Ooh,
Yeah.
some tuna fish
Little-
salad.
Ugh.
Little
Or
mustard.
just butter. I
Ugh,
don't care. I'll
now
take
I'm
it all.
done. The rye
Little
bread I was all for.
Rye bread, little ketchup,
Tuna fish.
bologna.
Come
No?
on, tuna fish.
Tuna
Oh,
salad?
that's
No,
the only
thanks.
fish I like. Tuna
No,
fish.
don't
Fish in a
touch it.
can.
So good.
Oh, delicious.
Mayonnaise. Put a little.
It's like cat food, but you know what the hell.
That's
Well-
exactly it. Whiskus.
Whiskey.
Spreading whiskus
I didn't know
on
what you were saying.
a slice of bread and eating.
Can you not
Whiskas.
say the word whiskey? Is that what's happening right now?
No,
Whiskers.
The cat food,
Whiskas.
whiskus.
Oh.
Whiskas.
Whiskas. You not have a cat there, Michael?
No, why would I have a cat? Cats
Fancy
are worse
feast.
than giraffes.
Would you prefer fancy
They should
feast?
fight cats and giraffes for each other. I bet you the cats would win. That's how dumb
Well,
giraffes
they would
are.
certainly gang
What
up
is that?
on
What
them.
is that? A sandwich? Boom! You're dead.
I feel like I could trick you with
I
the
want to
sandwich.
curse so bad right now.
Yeah, you
Like,
would fall for the
it's
sandwich.
taking
You would
everything.
fall for
You
the
would
sandwich.
totally fall like, ooh, a
We
sandwich.
could lure you over with a sandwich.
No, you know why? Because I'd look around and say, "Does anybody have a gun near me?"
You're
You,
not-
you don't eat sandwiches looking around for weapons every time I eat
I
a
know, the
sandwich.
giraffe's so dumb they actually pointed to the rye with a gun.
First of
Just,
all,
you know, it's
Yeah.
over
they're not
there.
gonna, you're not going to get a gun into Publix where I get sandwiches. So that's how I know I'm not going to get shot.
So kids and stuff loved it there, though. Apparently, they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I would be horrified if I was 7 years old and I saw something like that.
That might be interesting. You might be like,
I couldn't
"Wow."
even handle dissecting a fraud in the
Oh,
seventh
I was
grade.
into that. We dissected pig fetuses, and I loved it. Every
yeah?
second of it. Like my group was afraid to be the ones that like cut the skull open, and
you're
like,
like, "Let me
I was
in."
like, I'm doing it.
elbowing.
I failed it because I didn't pay attention to like this is the chamber of the heart I'm supposed to know. I just like let me get in
Oh,
there.
you just
Here's
wanted
what the
to-
real story
Yeah, it
is
was
behind
fun.
this. Is that wait? Are we? I'm sorry. I'm
No, you
still.
can go back to it.
They were just trying to teach all the other giraffes not to get out of line. They started eating other people's branches.
Good idea.
They were eating the neighbors' branches over at the over the parking lot
You get the real
over
scoop.
over at Six Flags Denmark.
No, the
On the other
boundaries.
side of the zoo, and they were like, "You want to mess around?
Huh?
Watch this.
Well,
Hey,
it's an
gather around,
example.
children.
It's an example.
Take a look, other dumb giraffes. This is your future."
We get a lot. He's a giraffe hater.
It really
This
is.
guy really.
dumb.
I just don't think that's something I would take my kids to see. But I guess it's a very Copenhagen thing, and I'm
Those
not very
Copenhageners. What do we call them? Copenhagen
Dummies.
Knights.
Cruel people is what we call them.
Call them heroes.
I hate zoos, but I think we covered that in another
I do
show.
too.
I
Yeah,
just,
zoos
hate
make me sad.
They're just it's awful.
Elephants are supposed to walk like miles and miles
Yeah.
and miles a day.
Yeah, not
and they're
stand in a
just-
pen.
Wouldn't throw hay up in the air. Sad. Super sad.
I'm really, really smart.
Yeah.
And I want to tell
I
all of
live
you to
forever.
fuck off, but I can't talk.
The worst.
You wouldn't like to be a show elephant?
No.
Ringling
Well, I-
Brothers, Barnum and Bailey
But what
Circus.
are they doing? What are they doing when they're not performing? Are they like in one of those sad cages, like in
Taking
Dumbo?
shits in their cage.
Like
They're
Dumbo.
dreaming about
Yeah.
being a giraffe, praying they can get shot.
So angry.
So
I love this angry Mike.
So mad.
That's his new name, Angry Mike.
That's tomorrow's nickname.
That's what they call you.
So you don't
Angry
think there's
Mike.
any jealousy? Elephants are smart. They mourn the death of their
They're
friends.
smart. Right.
So if I were an elephant and I saw an elephant who got to be in show business,
Oh, you
there'd
say
be a
that-
level
Oh.
of
It's
jealousy,
like,
I think.
I think, yeah. He's
Maybe
got
so.
probably you do have the easy life. You don't have to walk around the Serengeti all the time. You can, who doesn't? What
Protecting
elephant,
your young.
What elephant doesn't want to move to Columbus, Ohio?
Right.
Really? That's gotta be the dream.
And do the same thing every night. Stand on the ball. Look at the guy. Put your thing in your
Never
trunk
liked
in the
Kind of
air.
sounds like you're making a metaphor for stand-up comedians right now.
Yeah.
Basically,
Feels like
rules-
the same thing.
What
same
about
rules apply.
what about the elephant that was electrocuted by Thomas Edison? That one didn't have a very good life.
Do you know about this?
That was the
Yeah.
AC/DC current.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he
That's-
was trying to disprove. He was for
Tesla.
direct
Yeah,
current,
Tesla's
and he didn't
current,
like the
yeah.
alternating current.
He didn't like
Right.
Tesla, right? They had
Yeah,
like
and he
a
wanted to
feud.
show Tesla worked for him, and he screwed him over.
Yeah, he really did. Thomas
Edison
Edison was a
screwed
dick.
Tesla, and Tesla was
Well, you know
weird.
what,
He
Steve?
nursed pigeons back to health and hated
Yeah, he
women.
was weird. He became a weirdo.
That's adorable.
Not hated women as women. He was scared of them.
Steve
Nursed
Jobs, by the
pigeons
way,
back
was the
then.
same way. He was a big dick in a lot of ways too. These
Right.
guys were quite often like that. But Edison did screw Tesla over, and Tesla had the alternating current, right? And Edison wanted to put direct current in everywhere.
Which would have been ridiculous. Every few
Horrible
miles,
idea.
you needed a power station
Even-
to push it through.
Even more than that, in a city like New York City, you would have to have so many things. I mean, there's wires everywhere. I think they used to be like that, actually. So to prove his point, he would go around and he killed
kill
dogs
animals.
all the time. Like his road show is he killed dogs in
So
front of people with
sad.
direct current all the time. And then I think the big one was it an elephant that he
There
killed?
was an elephant that he killed. Hey, look how dangerous this alternating current is. Watch this elephant die.
Yeah. And people were like, "Yeah, well, that's beautiful, great show, great show."
And he still lost out.
He lost
He
out
still lost
ultimately,
out.
but Tesla didn't win because I think he stole the patent or something. But elephants did not have it well in the turn of the century. You know about that elephant that they hung in Alabama or something? You ever see
No.
that? It was some southern state, and an elephant. Like when the circus came to town.
That's because you ain't supposed to be a black elephant.
when the circus would come to town, I don't know if they still do this, but they would march the animals through the
Oh, right,
town,
through the streets.
And while that was going on, I think I got the story right. When the animals, the elephants went on kind of a rampage and killed a kid, and so they gave the death penalty and they hung the elephant. Can you find this?
Jeez.
They hung the elephant.
From what kind of branch?
They put up this huge structure, and they hung the
They
elephant.
spent money
It was-
building a structure
The
just
mighty
to...
oak.
I'm sure I'm not getting all the facts straight, but they actually hung this thing in the town square.
You got to be
Something-
careful when you search for this because I just put in hung an elephant,
Oh,
like
yeah, you
hung
get
like
Gene
an
Simmons.
element. Yeah, an elephant.
It's hanging. That's why it's hanging.
Oh, that's right.
Hanged.
Hunged or something.
Hanged elephant.
Hanged elephant.
I think
Wow.
it was a hanging. I'm pretty sure. I don't think
Execution of Big Mary.
that's probably
Oh
it.
no, Mary.
Yeah. This happened in like 19. I don't know. I think it was the turn of the century.
Oh, there's a picture.
yeah, they got a crane. See, they got a crane.
That is the worst thing I've
a
ever
construction
seen in my life.
crane.
Why are you okay with this and you're not okay
I'm not
with two
okay
girls,
with
one
this. I
cup?
think it's insane.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're looking at something that's
Poor
100 years
elephant.
old.
Now you're supposed to evacuate your bowels, right, when you're hung.
Oh,
so
there's gotta be.
what do you think happened here?
If you're being a responsible person getting murdered.
And when the chain broke, Dad said they scattered it. Said they
So the chain broke. The
Oh,
chain
that
broke.
big
It wasn't his fault.
The elephant came down.
Guys,
Oh, no,
this
wait,
is
hold on. Wait. What are we? Are we talking about the chain breaking and that's why he went into the crowd?
No.
Or
As
the
they
chain
were
broke as they were hanging.
as
it?
they were hanging the elephant. I found a documentary here. The hanging of Big Mary. The chain broke, fell, and then the crowd dispersed.
What city of morons pulled this off? Where the hell did this happen?
Irwin, Tennessee.
This happened on September 11th, so I think this is the real.
Yeah, this is the first 9/11.
So yeah, this is the first 9/11.
Never remember.
Where is the what was the year?
It's a small Appalachian town that's still trying to remove this black mark from its history.
This is from 1916.
Oh Lord.
They didn't have cable back then.
Look at that. You've got to. I know it's a visual thing, but you've got to go look at this. They actually got a crane,
put
a
a
construction crane.
In the Ustream.
And there's what is it in Wikipedia? Does it marry the elephant?
Yeah.
Big Mary.
Big
They
Mary.
were just married. That's mad. Someone tried to marry an elephant. So they were like, "Get out of our town, you
Well, yeah,
fucking
they go on.
elephant!" You
So
dumb-"
what is the backstory? The elephant killed a kid.
The trainer. It was a trainer.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't a kid.
So was it?
It was the person that was poking and
minute.
prodding and electrocuting it its entire life.
My
Go
assumption-
An
figure.
inexperienced trainer
My assumption-
named Reed Eldridge.
Was he from Irwin?
I don't know. Let me do
See,
some more research.
Well, what I thought.
I don't know where
no.
he's from, but he's in hell right about now.
What I thought was that the circus comes in town and this elephant kills one of the town members, and that's why they kill the elephant. Why would the town care if it killed its trainer and the trainer's not from the town? They just wanted to hang an elephant.
Yeah, they were like,
It
let's
says-
see
it
this.
He was a hotel worker
Oh.
who was hired as an assistant elephant trainer by the circus, but and it
So
doesn't
he
say if he
was
was
a-
from the town.
So he was
must-
basically he was a novice.
his big break. I'm finally getting out of this hotel. I'm going to get to the circus and train those elephants. And,
And
he
got
dies.
stampeded
I
on.
don't want to know anything else about this story.
Why?
It's terrible.
It's old. It's almost 100
So
years old.
sad.
It's 98 years old. If it's still too soon, when will it not be too soon?
Apparently,
9/11.
onlookers started chanting, "Kill the elephant! Kill the elephant!"
How were people but just like different back then? I mean, you couldn't get away with it now.
Even more, a local blacksmith fired 5 rounds at Big Mary with little effect. So the hanging was the only choice.
Well, they had
clearly.
actual elephant guns to take down elephants, so they probably didn't have an elephant gun in Irwin. So they put out. That's unbelievable. Anyway,
That's crazy.
Okay, what else? What else is it?
Well, you know who was not put down by their trainer?
Good seg.
Yeah.
Good seg. Almost anybody that wasn't Mary the Elephant in history.
We should do that every time there's a new news story, just hit the sounder.
Yeah. Shia LaBeouf is acting super weird.
Yeah, what is this? I got some audio from him.
Yeah, he was at a Berlin Film Festival. Well, so first it started out with him. What was he doing? He was
Plagiarized,
plagiarizing.
didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
plagiarizing a bunch of things. And so now it seems like he's in on the joke because at this film festival, he was talking a lot of nonsense and people were confused. But then,
Well, here's the thing. It's been going on for a little while. I think he made a short. He wrote a story. A story.
That
And
was
then
plagiarized.
and he put his name on it. He didn't give any acknowledgement. And it turned out that he basically stole the story from this graphic novella
Right.
written by somebody else.
Novella.
So the guy calls him on it, and he gets I'm sorry, I should have, in my zeal as an artist, I didn't, and I should
we're
have.
all influenced by
Right.
each other.
So first he apologizes, and then he starts getting really weird. He flew a plane in Los Angeles that said sorry to this guy's name.
Oh, really?
And then it turned out the guy didn't live in Los Angeles. He lives in San Francisco or something, so it was stupid.
Is he on drugs?
And then he's been showing up.
Hopefully.
He's been showing up purposely plagiarizing. So now everything that he says
Right.
is taken from somebody else's speech. And I guess he was at the Berlin Film Festival or something for his new movie. And I got some sound here. So he sits down with the whole cast. He takes one question, but his answer is
The Daily Double.
somebody else's answer from a press conference.
Yeah, Eric Cantona.
Yes.
Cantona.
And then he leaves.
Follow the trawler. It is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.
He gets up and he leaves.
What was the question?
He had been asked about the experience of making a film that contains so many sex scenes. So with that question in mind, let's hear it again. So how
Like
did it
seagulls
feel?
Following a trawler is what he said.
How did it feel to make a movie with so many sex scenes?
Follow the trawler. It is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.
And then later he showed up on the red carpet with a paper bag on his head that says "I am not famous anymore," and he's dressed in a tux. So it becomes
what he's
this
doing?
whole. Is it? Remember what's her face? We thought was being a performance artist for a while, and she turned out to be nuts. The
Who?
Disney gal. What was her name?
Oh, the blonde wig, the crazy blonde wig.
Yeah, but turned out she was really messed up.
Right.
So
or what's his name? The
Joaquin.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix.
Right. Turned out he was making a movie. He
right.
wasn't a. So we have
it
both
seems like he's
sides
doing
there.
the same thing.
Seems like so it's either he's really messed up,
Yeah.
or he's doing performance art.
Yeah.
Both equally horrible.
Do you think it
I hate
started as?
performance
I think it
art.
was plagiarism, and
Right.
then maybe he turned it into performance art.
Oh yeah,
just
no,
to
the
cover his tracks.
plagiarism.
Right.
Yeah, now he's like going overboard if it's performance art to deal with this because he's having these pangs of conscience that he
He's
can't
really
get rid of.
fallen since Transformers.
Well, he's going to be in the next Transformers. He says he's retiring, but he's still accepting movie roles and still doing this stuff. And
I
just
never
being,
have found him appealing.
I don't think I've ever seen anything he's in.
Did you see Transformers? Did
No.
you see the new
No,
Indiana Jones?
No.
Transformers 2,
no,
Transformers 3.
no.
They're all
Is
pretty
there a four?
bad.
Keep
I
going.
think the 4's on the way.
Yeah.
That's all I know
Pretty
of
bad.
his work history.
No,
Yeah.
I've not. I don't think I've seen him because I didn't see the Indiana Jones. He was the younger Indiana Jones, right? Or not younger.
No,
but
he was
No,
his
he was like
assistant or whatever.
apprentice.
just a guy.
Somebody told me that in
Worse.
Indiana Jones, there's a point where there's a nuclear blast and somebody lives by being in a refrigerator that
Yeah.
gets thrown away.
Yeah.
And I said, I cannot suspend that much disbelief.
Yeah, Indy.
I'm with you.
Indy himself.
Yes.
Oh.
Is the one who lives in the
And
refrigerator.
also, there's like some magnetic force that's happening in this warehouse
Yeah.
that's like leading this is it gunpowder or something to wherever they're trying to go, and the guns don't go anywhere. All the metal that they're wearing doesn't go anywhere. It's just this special stupid powder. I hated that movie so much.
Well, I'm glad I didn't see it.
I hated it.
Uh,
Our friend Lucky Yates loves it.
Really?
Loves it. He thought it was a fun wild ride.
He probably thought it was good because sometimes people paper over something that's kind of unbelievable and say, it's a popcorn movie.
Yeah,
Popcorn
like that's
movie
how you
is a way
feel.
of saying it's not that great,
Yeah.
but it was kind of fun.
That's how you feel about one of those Batmans with Mr. Freeze. You
Yeah,
love
I
that
love
one.
that one.
The worst.
The one everybody hates.
The absolute
Is that the
worst.
bat nipple one? Where
Yeah.
Clooney has the...
Yeah.
Where
It's
George
the only
Clooney's
one-
like,
yeah.
"Can you believe it? I'm Batman."
I
I'm
would have
Batman?
there's a couple of those that everybody hated and I loved. I liked that. I wouldn't say I loved it, but when I watched it, I was expecting to hate it, and I thought it was tongue in cheek. I thought they were going back to the TV show to try to be and not be so serious because I got a little tired of we're really going to get into the mind of the darkness of the Batman.
Well,
That was
That's-
after, though.
That was like Batman
No, no, no,
Begins.
no, no, no,
The
no.
worst.
Now it seems like that, but it's
Begins
hard.
was great.
We have to. You have to go back to a time where even the Michael Keaton Batman was dark compared to what we knew from television.
God, I love the
So,
Michael Keaton Batman.
I got tired of all of that. Another one that I think is great that people say
What?
sucks is Anaconda. I thought that movie was awesome. I thought it was John
I
Voight.
never saw it.
John Voight is awesome in that movie.
I liked Ice Cube, wasn't he? in
Ice
that?
he
Cube
was
was in it.
and J Lo.
He got ate right quick.
I would have nominated John Voight for an Oscar for his work in Anaconda. Him alone.
See,
He's
that's
a great
not-
evil guy.
Yeah.
But
To
that's
me,
neither
those
here nor
aren't
there.
bad enough. I like it when it's real bad.
See, I don't like that when it
Like
gets
Snakes
into
on a
camp.
Plane. Oh, I loved it.
I don't like when things get into camp.
Really?
You know, I don't because you can't really watch it. You know, like the Rocky,
Sharknado? Not a fan of Sharknado.
I didn't
Sharknado was so bad that it was amazing.
didn't watch
Right.
that one.
It was so bad.
It's like but people got all excited when Rocky Horror Picture Show finally came out on. It was VHS, I think, when it finally came out in like the early '90s or somewhere in there. I'm not exactly sure when it came out, but it took a long time
Love
for it
it.
to be released.
Mm-hmm.
But when you watch it on video
Yeah.
and you're not at the theater and people aren't throwing things at the screen, you realize this is just a really bad movie.
I don't know. It's fun. I
It's
still
fun.
liked it.
It's fun when the theater is
I
into.
think it's both.
The songs are good. Don't get me wrong, but the movie itself, without a room full of people who are into it, is not
disagree.
very watchable.
No, I love it.
Really?
You love it. I love the
Wow.
songs. I love how silly Frankenfurter is,
Well,
and
that's all was in the play and everything.
Yeah.
But
it's funny. I love it.
The Room. That's a good one, too.
The Room. Oh my God,
The Room
is
was
the
not
best.
supposed to be bad. I think
Right.
the guy just sucked at making movies.
But now he pretends like, yeah, I was doing it on purpose.
then
Well,
when-
there's scenes. Like, apparently...
wait,
the-
explain to people what the room.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody may not be as hip as you are.
I don't want-
Listening. Explain what the room is.
The Room's a terrible movie. What more is there to say about it?
Well, it's a terrible movie
It's the-
that
yeah.
has no continuity, and now it's become a late night sort of Rocky Horror
Well, yeah, it's-
favorite.
people go there now. They cheer. They read
Right.
the lines. But no, I guess the beginning of the movie, a character says, "Well, it's official. I have cancer." It's
Yeah.
never referenced again.
Yeah,
right.
it's
in the
mo-
movie.
Yeah,
And there's a strange football scene where guys are playing football in tuxedos.
before a wedding.
Yeah,
yeah.
it doesn't fit in
There's
at all.
there's a framed picture of a spoon
Yeah, I
in
know.
the
So
background.
people bring spoons
And
into
we
the theater and they throw them at the
yeah.
screen.
See, that's very Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
That's what it's turned into.
Right. and they'll have the same thing. That'll once they get
a lot
on
of
DVD.
sex scenes that go on for a long time with the director is in it.
Yeah.
So he of course has this like beautiful person.
Well, now he
in there.
travels around and shows up, and it's like a big Q&A session. And
Yeah.
Because
what are
there's
the
nothing else
questions?
going on. He can't make another movie.
How did you suck this poorly? I mean, how or
It takes a lot of
goodly,
talent to suck this bad.
Goodly. Michael, have you not seen The Room? You look like you
I have
are.
not. No,
Have
I'm
you
trying
heard
to.
of
I
it?
was trying to think.
It's fun. It's
They
really
play it
fun.
a lot at the what's the one next to the
Plaza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They played a lot there.
That's right by my house too.
You
should
should go
stop by
see
sometime.
it.
It's quite a scene.
Friday at
I will
midnight,
go.
I think, maybe.
Are they doing
no,
it
no,
every
Tuesday.
Friday?
No, I'm sorry. It's like
That's
every.
Rocky Horror.
Yeah,
They
you're
do it
right. It's the
Fridays at midnight.
Tuesday,
They still
like
do
the
Rocky
last
Horror?
Tuesday or the first Tuesday or some sort of Tuesday or Thursday or.
Yeah, it's the
some time
last one of the
week.
month or some day thing at a time.
Nobody knows.
There are clocks involved.
Who can know?
Are we done with the news?
Yeah, I think we're done with the news.
Dun, 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 dun.
Give me my. Thank you. We got to do the credits thing, Greg. Patreon.com. Oh, now I got to go over and try to make this happen as I'm speaking. Patreon.com is. Oh, look.
Do your entrance again. Greg's ready.
This is my pitch. This show is brought to you by you. You can go to patreon.com and you can donate $10, $25, $50, $100 a month. I saw somebody in the chat room say that we should start a PayPal
So they can give a one-time donation.
so you can give a one-time donation, which I think we will obviously look into. And one of the things is anybody who gives, whether it's a one-time donation or once a month, will get their name in our credits. And these credits that you're looking at now are on that TV, and it's very shaky and it's very blurry. But we got to figure out with our equipment how to actually add that to our closing scroll.
The more we get, the more we can figure out how to do that properly.
That's right. So every name of everybody who ever gives any money is going to be in the closing credits of this show every single time the show plays. If we get thousands of people, we'll have an 8-minute song playing and we'll get them in there every single time, because this show belongs to its investors, and its investors are you. And I got my first check from Patreon, and that was fantastic because the show didn't even exist at that point. And we had people who were willing to give us money to be a part of it. So go to patreon.com if you're interested. Look up Eric Von Radio, and you'll find our page and all the different levels and the perks that we have. T-shirts and bumper stickers and all that kind of thing. And, of course, you're in the closing credits of the show. I see that he's done a lot of close-ups of me. So I don't like some sort of European art film or something. So yeah.
It's my room.
All of our shows on Eric Von Radio, by the way, we're going to have 5 shows that we're rolling out over the next few weeks. All of the shows will always be free and available to everyone all the time. But we're asking you, if you want to get involved and you'd like to go in business with us and help create the type of radio that we all would like to hear that isn't out there right now, then please go to patreon.com and check us out and become an investor. Go into business with me. I want to go invest. It would be my pleasure to go in business with you and screw over those Dickey brothers and those
Wow,
corporate
you
douchebags
should have
who
just
are-
ended it.
Yeah.
You should have just ended
I
it.
just-
They're really ugly with that hair, and they go, okay, all right, I'll get
Yeah.
off that anyway. So there we are, patreon.com,
Eric Von Radio.
the morning show with Eric with EVH, sponsored by you, brought to you by you. So get involved. Stop bitching about corporate radio and start doing something about it. Do we have to? Where are we now? How long have we been on for this show here? Do you know? I can't keep time because we started at an off time.
We
so.
still have 12 minutes.
12 whole minutes.
Whoa.
Should we do our? This is what my thing right now is that I've been getting really fat while being unemployed. You should have played this during the hang the elephant thing. What's wrong with you?
Do you have anything tubas or baritones?
That was a very serious story as far as I was concerned. I'm not making light of Big Mary.
Poor Big Mary.
So I've been off the airwaves for 3.5 months now, and not only that, but I was off the airwaves during holiday season. And so I just ate a lot, and I've been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And usually, and I know myself well enough, that I'm usually pretty self-policing. And usually the off switch is hitting about now. Like, and I can't, the off switch isn't hitting, so I need to do something very public maybe to help myself so that I have eyeballs on me.
How many times have you eaten Chick-fil-A in the past 2 weeks?
How many days are in 2 weeks? 14?
14?
At least 11, I would say.
Is that true?
It's not that much.
That's
it's
true.
at least
Wow.
5 or 6, I
It's
would
close.
say.
You can eat Chick-fil-A healthily, though. You know Chick-fil-A is on Weight Watchers program?
Yeah, but you get the wraps.
No, you can get the chicken sandwich because they don't have a lot of breading, so it doesn't retain a
A
lot
lot
of
of
fat.
butter, though, on them, too, right?
Butter?
Yeah, I feel like there's butter inside the bun.
There's a lot of Christianity in there.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I mean by, by
And
butter.
Christians
Seen-
are
if you've
greasy.
seen- if,
Yeah.
you- if you've seen them, they're quite often heavy. So what I've decided is I got to start. I got to start losing weight or not gaining weight or something.
die.
So I was convinced by something that I was watching that just starting a food journal would actually help, because once you're looking at the stuff that you're eating, you start thinking twice about
Sure.
what you're doing. So what are you going at me for?
440 calories in Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. That's not too bad. 18 grams of fat.
For a guy,
I ain't
that's
buy
not
it,
bad
man.
because your
How much are
caloric
you supposed
intake.
to have a day?
2,000, something like that?
For you?
Yeah, for
Eric,
yeah.
you could go to 2,300.
Okay.
I'm supposed
But
to
you
have
should
like
burn, like,
1,300
1,000
though. I'm supposed to have like 1,300.
But you're pregnant.
No, for me that's different. Pregnant is different, but just like me trying to maintain. If I was trying to maintain some
Right.
weight, it should be like 1,300,
So have you
which
ever?
is nothing.
There's an app. I can't remember what it's called.
I think it's called MyFitnessPal.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, I do.
Have you done that one? Have you
I
guys
did,
done
yeah.
that one?
It puts an onus on you, but at the same time, like I did it and I just lose track.
Yeah.
And I
Just
couldn't
stop
find the
putting stuff
food
in
that I
there.
wanted to put in there.
Well, because
too.
you have one day where you're like, I'm gonna have nachos, and then you don't put it in. You're like, I'm just gonna skip it, and then you forget. Or,
Right.
But not you, I mean me, because I'm a
Yes.
lazy second.
or you have
Yes.
to search for like nachos, and it's like, do you want?
And you gotta like,
Hardee's
how much
nachos,
cheese did you
or-
put? It's good. Don't get it twisted. It's good if
Yeah.
you're not, you know.
I
Well, even
totally-
if you're not completely
Lazy.
precise, I would imagine just having to look at the stuff that
Yeah.
you're eating. Because I mean, if I think about the last 24 hours, so spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. This morning, 3 donuts.
Are you sure about that 3?
It's 3. I had
All
2, and then I figured we're starting a second show, so I could start off. I'm superstitious.
Right.
I had to start each show with a donut. So that was the 3rd donut. So this morning, what do you think those? What would that be? 3 donuts.
Donuts are terrible.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
gonna
they're
be
Probably
like
at like 1,500 or something.
calories
Definitely.
a piece
Right,
or
okay.
something
Yeah.
stupid like that.
And I've
You're
been
up there.
putting ice cream on top of, it's like everything. And I've
Cereal.
just been sitting there eating ice cream on everything. And I know it's bad, but it feels so comforting, when you eat it. So I got to
and
break
it's
the cycle.
cold out.
Well, yeah, ice cream, perfect for the cold weather.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There's
So
no
are you gonna?
excuse.
Are you doing a food journal?
Yeah, I
I don't
am
want to
doing
do
a
this
food
alone.
journal.
So
Yeah, I
I
got
want
you.
help.
I got you.
What about Albanese over there? He's always
absolutely.
juicing.
I'll do it.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
I had.
Oh, you're doing it.
I did it.
You're
I wrote
always
it.
doing it, but you're pregnant.
Oh
You're
no,
allowed
I'm
to be
not always
fat.
doing it. I just did it because you mentioned it.
Oh, okay. You think what we had?
It's not that bad actually for a lady who's pregnant. Lucky Charms with milk, a fun-sized almond joy.
Fun size. Did you
I'm
have
waiting
fun?
for the not bad
It was
part.
so much fun.
Especially after she's had
So
sugar,
much
then she had sugared sugar.
I know it is a lot of sugar. Blueberry
She had
bagel with cream
coconut
cheese.
sugar.
Kid's gonna be born.
So what is that? That's carbs, and so that's kind of sugar.
And sugar.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a twitchy kid.
Blackberry Greek yogurt, which is protein.
Okay, it's still a little heavy.
It's
On
by whose standards?
A bite of vanilla pudding cake. Just one bite.
Did you have any meat?
Jambalaya with sour cream.
All right.
But that was a lot of rice. And then milk. And then lemon pudding cake and more milk.
Do you want to know what I had yesterday?
I do.
I had a kale, cucumber, spinach, celery juice for breakfast.
Okay.
I had a kale, beet, celery, big, like a triple-sized juice. I was going ham yesterday.
Yeah.
For lunch. Then I had some fajita chicken meat
Yeah.
with
Just
some
the meat?
beans. Yeah.
But you
Well,
just
no, I
had a
had
couple
the
donuts.
tortilla
though.
wraps.
You just had a couple
No,
donuts.
I didn't. I had a quarter of a piece of a donut that was left over.
Got
in
a
the
little
bin.
taste.
Because
Cookies?
I
Did you
haven't
get
eaten yet,
cookies?
and we were here recording multiple shows. So
Yes.
I'm pretty goddamn starving.
Okay.
And for dinner, I had a spinach salad with grilled chicken, tomatoes.
All right, you're boring. me
Hold
now.
on, I'm not done.
You're boring the hell
Plus
out of me.
homemade dressing, which consisted of tofu sour cream with a little bit of sriracha, salt and pepper.
I don't
Nothing.
like you anymore.
Yeah. Nothing.
Now, I
what I
say
want to
that
tell people about is this period of time that you didn't eat for an entire month. Did
Well,
you actually
I almost
go the
made
whole,
it the whole month. I went pretty good amount of times.
How
but it was
long
over
did
the
you go without
holidays,
doing
which was a
nothing
pain
but
in the ass.
juicing?
It was like maybe 8 days. I made it completely, and then I would eat a little bit.
Oh, because I caught you on day 3 and you were all gung ho. I'm going a whole month.
Well, you think you are, and then you just, I don't know.
Well, it's
man. I just
not-
got
it's
such
tough.
bad
It's really
headaches.
tough.
Yeah, it's really good for you.
Oh, it's
just
not good for you.
Yeah, it
to
is.
not
It's just like
eat.
it's like coming off of drugs. You feel like you're dying after 3 or 4
not.
days of being off drugs because your body's not used to
You
it.
can't do
but
number
it's
2.
good
Yeah,
to get
but
off a
You
drug.
can't take a dump
Drugs
What
are
is that?
different.
What's wrong with
Drugs are
what's
different
the
than
problem
food.
with that?
because you're supposed to do that.
No, you're
supposed
not.
To, oh,
Who
you're
says
not.
that? Who says you're supposed to poop?
Nature.
Oh, okay, nature is nature on the internet. I didn't think so. Therefore, it ain't a thing.
So you only made it 8 days.
Yeah, but that's still pretty solid.
Well,
Lost a few lbs.
It's pretty amazing. I
yeah,
couldn't just.
and I'm still juicing.
What's
I
your
juiced
plan?
for
Are you ever going to
breakfast.
try it again?
This morning I had a same thing. My green machine. I think it was what it's called. No, veggie multi. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
It was. I had it was a vegetable juice,
The
not
green-
like
yeah, the
V8.
green-
It's like fresh veggies.
Yeah.
And
ones are
then a
good.
couple coffees, and I had like a bite of a donut just because I'm.
See,
I'm
to
dying
me,
for-
I always do that thing where it's like, well, you only live while you live, and maybe you live longer, but if you're not eating things you like, it's not as good. But I'm way
Well,
over
don't
the
get it
edge
twisted.
right
I
now.
still get down on some pizza or get some French fries now and again.
Sure.
You got to be alive. But at the same time, it's like, come on, I don't want to be a fat piece of shit. I'm also trying to excel and be successful in an entertainment field.
You have
where
to have
I don't-
stamina.
I got to have a little bit of.
That's true.
3 shows
stop,
nightly.
Stop drink. I can't drink too much anymore. I don't want
Right.
to do too much of the weeds. Just I want to try to keep it together so I can be as successful.
I
as
know that
possible.
Greg's not going to join us because he doesn't do food journals or things like that.
No, I'll make this interesting. For every pound each of you loses, I will gain. There you go. Now people are suddenly interested again. I saved the show. You can thank me
Thank
later.
you, Greg. Always saving the show.
And when we swap 10, I'm gonna take that girl of yours
Mm.
from you were talking about
Oh,
earlier.
boy.
See,
She
he's
like the
got-
confidence that I just
Controversy.
completely.
No, here's my okay. I'm not going to try to stop you.
I actually hate discussions about food because it reminds me of
Makes me
people who
hungry.
call themselves foodies, and I hate people who refer to themselves as foodies.
Yeah, so do I.
We're foodies.
Peter Buck.
Uh,
An interview with Peter Buck once talking about REM, their favorite cities to travel to on tour because they have the best restaurants. We're foodies in this band. We're really foodies. And really he's saying nothing wrong.
Right.
But it angered me. I wanted to punch him in the face. Don't say foodie
Stop
again.
saying foodie. We're foodies.
Well, it makes you sound very superior, right? Like, oh, we're foodies.
Well, yes, it's a superior attitude with a stupid word.
Foodie.
Like movie, I think, is pretty ridiculous as a word. Film, a movie.
It moves.
It's a movie.
Like a talkie.
Yeah, I know.
It's a
And
movie.
that's true. I never really thought about it. It's just the word for that. I never thought about.
It's a movie. It's
It moves.
moving.
It's moving.
But that one's deep enough and ingrained, right?
It is
That
because
doesn't
even
make
I
you
tried
mad.
to stop using that one and I couldn't.
Well, it's the
Which is-
root of the word. It's the moving picture.
moving
Yeah, I
picture.
get it, but-
Moving.
Yeah.
Moving.
It's
What's a
moving-
better?
It's like, and then it's like the dumbest person to watch the moving picture came up with the term for it. Movie.
You know, movie now means
I'm gonna
figurative.
drive home and my drivey.
My driving.
My rolly.
Walkie-talkie.
You're walking and you're talking.
I walkie and I talkie.
We didn't have cell phones back
Child came up with that.
then. I'll walk
That's so cute.
Yeah, I hate fake things. Like what? Bible. I mean,
Yeah. What is that?
some bullshit.
All right, so should we do a couple more news stories, or are we just about done? You got to tell me what time
We have
are.
2 minutes. What would you like to do?
I'd like to do one more news story. We can go over it a little bit.
All
Do you
right.
have one more? I got
Well, let me do my quick. I'll do the 2-minute trending.
Oh, the trending.
No, that's right. And
2 minutes in
also-
trending. I'll
okay.
make it quick.
All right, very good. Let's go. Trending with Michael.
2 minutes in trending. This is the stuff that I find to be fun that is trending on my social media. There's a really great thing. It's on a bunch of stuff. You could probably just Google it. And it's basically called 8 old black people that look younger than Lorde. And that is hilarious to me because she looks like she's about 100 years old.
Lorde.
And it just goes with all these great
How old is Lord? She's like 15.
blackstresses
right?
that look older than her. She's like 16 or 17. They said it might have been. She might have lied about it. But either way, she's young. But she's got a bunch of great. And these are a lot of actresses that I don't know who the hell they are, but they're older. And there's Halle Berry. Oh, look at that. There's We'll put the link up so you can look at this.
Now, who looks older than who? Lorde looks older than
Lorde
them?
looks
Lorde.
older than most people.
Okay. All right.
Such as Robin Wright, Helen Mirren, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Connie Brighton, Meryl Streep. Those aren't all black people, as it turns out.
I don't think there were many at all, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I don't think any of
I
that.
think you're rather race obsessed.
All right, we're 2 minutes. Here we go.
What else is trending?
Penguin.
There's a great meme
Oh, sorry.
that's dragging around the internet. It shows a picture of Target, and then it shows at the bottom of it a picture of a woman, I would assume, with a giant belly coming out of her, and it says the top where Target, where people pay a little more to avoid going to Walmart. And it is brilliant. I just think that's hilarious.
Because you hate Walmart because you're a liberal.
That's not it.
No,
That's not
Walmart.
true at all.
Do
I
you
just
watch-
think
do
it's
you
funny
follow
because
that
fat
People of
people go to
Walmart?
Walmart.
People of Walmart. It's like a picture blog post.
Oh
sort of
yeah,
thing.
I've seen that. It's
Yeah.
disgusting. It
And
looks
then-
like my family.
To round this off, there is a great video of it's called "Little Penguin Loves to Be Tickled," and it is hilarious. And we're gonna play it right now. This is a penguin that I guess is in recovery, named Cookie.
No.
And
That's it? That's all we do today?
they love it loves to get petted and tickled.
Is that it being
No,
tickled?
you'll hear it. Here it comes. Here it comes. Ready? This is the slowest drag ever. Come on. Where are you at, penguin? There it is. It just means little belly scratched. It makes me giggle watching
I
him
think it's
giggle.
adorable. I think
It's so great.
How could that not make your day a little bit
Absolutely.
better? I'm not even looking at it. I'm just listening to it. Is it shivering all over? as
Yeah,
it gets tickled?
just nuzzling on the hand.
Where
It's
are they
brilliant.
tickling it? Underneath the wing?
It's belly.
Oh, on the
belly
belly
and under its wings.
Well, I'm
yeah.
very sensitive under my arm, so I thought
Yeah.
maybe that I don't need to.
And that's 2 minutes in trending.
That's trending. Is it 2 minutes in trending, or is it trending with Michael?
Well, it's trending with Mike, but it's
So it's a
but
truncated
now it's 2
version.
minutes because it was the very end of the show.
Well, that was adorable. The show is adorable. This is our safety show in case these people cannot make it in tomorrow because the roads are iced over.
I think it was a pretty good show. I think
I think it's pretty good. We'll probably
think so,
go with it
too.
anyway.
Yeah.
I'll take tomorrow off. Leave it in there. Yeah. Well, so we don't have to do tomorrow. We've done today. Letterman does 2 on Thursday and takes Fridays off. His monologue is seen to be fresh enough. Michael Albanese.
Yes.
Judge Alex is going to be on today,
Yep.
Wednesday.
Right after this show.
At noon on Fox 5.
Fox. Noonish. I'm sure it's at noon. I'm pretty sure
And
it's noon.
Michael Albanese has a case.
Yep. You can follow me at Big Man Mike.
And
And,
you'll be appearing at comedy clubs around town.
End of the last weekend of February, I'll be at the Improv with Robert Kelly.
I wish I had more information about this. I'm doing a thing in Marietta. Basically, it's a comedy group, an improv group, and you tell stories from your life, and then they act those stories out.
Oh yeah, I did one in. I was they call it Armando at the Village Theater.
Yeah.
And the Armando is that. I got to be the guy telling the stories. That's a lot of fun.
Is
I
this
don't
the
know.
same one, Marietta?
No, this one's downtown,
A different one.
but yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm going to be doing that, and I'll have more details about that. If I wasn't so stupid, I would have the details now. But I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to be able to tell stories, maybe some from my childhood, maybe a couple from radio, and they'll act it out. I'll have more details for you on that. Autumn, how do we get in touch with you?
You can find me on Facebook or Twitter at AutoPritz. Pritts.
Greg Rush, you got angry at me on the last show because I did not come
I
to
have
you
nothing.
this time. You're not appearing anywhere?
No.
You're going to be he's in love, so he just goes into the city as soon as everything's over, and he's got a fresh blossoming love affair with someone that Michael now thinks is wonderful.
I don't even know who this person is. I just thought she was cute. That's all.
Quite popular.
Kill me
And
for thinking that somebody's cute.
And I'm going to stop talking about it because I don't want to ruin. Greg's giving me that look like now she's going to see it. And tomorrow we get.
I'm not giving you any look.
You give me a look that says, "Hey, don't
hey,
spoil this. I got a good thing going.
I just was
Don't block me."
thinking about violently beating Michael. That's all.
Oh well.
That's what that look was.
You
I
should
zoned out.
You should dismember him in front of children and feed him to lions.
Oh,
It's a
we've come
learning
full
experience.
circle. That's it. Ended on that note.
It's been the morning show with EVH, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Thanks.